Hi, this is Donna Reich of Character Inc. Press and Raising Kids with Character Parenting Seminar and Blog. You are now watching video 3 of Meaningful Composition. This is a video series in which I introduce the Meaningful Composition program to vendors and curriculum providers. Hopefully you have this book in front of you again with an orange cover, Meaningful Composition, and in the corner it says Sample Book. Again, if you are not a curriculum provider or a vendor and you don't have this book in front of you, then you can go and look at the samples that we have at our blog, Character Inc. blog, Raising Kids with Character blog, or our store, Character Inc. store. This video is going to detail the types of writing that we have in Meaningful Composition, as well as explaining our directed writing approach. I talked in earlier videos about the importance of not just having a writing idea book, but instead actually having a program in which whatever skills are needed to write that particular writing project are taught before the student is asked to write that type of writing. And so today I'd like to go in a little bit deeper with that thought. First of all, if you could go with me to the table of contents of this book. I explained in video 1 how we have 2 books per year, 4142, 5152, and so on and so forth, grade level specific books of various types. All of the first semester books have our how-tos, which I'm going to be explaining into a lot more detail in the next video. But in this one, I would like to just give you a view of all of our programs and what the types of writings those books contain. So in the table of contents, you can see how it's broken up. Section 1, upper elementary, grades 4 through 6. Section 2, junior high, grades 6 through 8. And Section 3, high school, grades 9 through 12. And what we have done here in this sample book is taken reports, essays, stories, projects out of all of the various books from 4 through 9 actually, 10, 11, and 12, and we'll talk about those later, but those are more specific types like SAT and ACT preparation books, college research writing, very advanced story writing, and things like that. But for 4 through 9, we have all of these types of stories and projects and reports. And so in this table of contents, you can see how it has week 1, week 14, week 7 and 8. That's because these are literally just pulled out and put into the sample book for you. And so I would like to talk about the 3 main types of writing that we have in our books. First of all, before I do that though, I want to draw your attention to how the sections are divided up. On page 8, you can see section 1, upper elementary. Everything in section 1 came from the 4th through 6th grade books. Section 2 begins on page 72, and everything in that section came from our 6th through 8th grade books. And then section 3 is our high school section, and all of those projects came from our 9th grade and 10th grade books. Or actually, I think it was more from the 8th and 9th grade books. 10.1 is, as you can see in the overviews, 10.1 is called Essays Only, and 10.2 is called For Research Reports. Those are extremely specific type of books that prepare students for college writing. And so the projects in here came directly from current books so that you can see a little bit of everything of what we have. In the table of contents also, you can see in week 1, we have how to create and write from a sentence by sentence outline. Week 14, sentence by sentence outline over given material. Week 7 and 8, a creative writing essay. Then moving down into week 8, we have story over given material. The gazelle escapes from the cheetah. We have the week 9, original animal escape story, and week 12, a research report from given material. Weeks 13 and 14, an original one. And so we have all types of writing in Meaningful Composition. As I mentioned before, first semester books have a little bit of everything. Actually, the first semester book table of contents from 4.1 through 9.1 look exactly like this table of contents, in that you have section 1, essay writing, section 2, story writing, section 3, research writing. And so it has a little bit of everything in all the first semester books. The second semester books are more specific, creative writing, more detailed research report writing, and essay writing. I want to draw your attention to how we use source material in our books. In all of our types of writing, it doesn't matter whether we have story writing, essay writing, or research report writing, and those are 3 primary categories of writing projects. It doesn't matter which type a student is writing. We have some projects with source material and some without source material. The difference between our programs and other programs that provide source material is that when we provide source material, the student might write from that source material one week, but only to learn how to write that type of writing, to learn how to do paragraph breaks and those type of things. And then the next week, the student will write originally from that same thing. Let me give you a good example of this in pages 119 and 145. This is in the junior high section. And if you turn with me to 119, first of all, you can see at the top, it says sentence by sentence informative report over given material. We call our outlining, when a student outlines paragraph by paragraph, sentence by sentence, we call that sentence by sentence writing. And we used to call it the keyword outline, which is very popular in homeschool circles and was introduced by the Institute for Excellence in Writing, which is the type of outlining that I had my students doing for years prior to that popularity. However, the problem with using the keyword outline wording that we found is that students had a tendency to think, well, I'm doing a keyword outline, I'm doing a keyword outline. And they had a tendency to think that everything was provided for them whenever we use that model. Now that necessarily isn't the case in other programs, but that's what was happening in our teaching and in our programs. And as I mentioned before, we test all of the projects in all of the books 2 to 5 times each, with 100 students each semester in 4 locations. So in addition to writing, my son and I are busy going out every day to various locations with one group of students for the full semester and testing all of the projects. And through that testing, students would they would assume that they use a keyword outline if we give them material, but when they have to find it themselves, it wasn't carrying over very well for us. So we changed the wording to sentence by sentence outlining, and it is one of the outlining types that we use. And in another video, I'm going to show you the various types of outlining and brainstorming and pre-writing skills that we offer in Meaningful Composition. But we call outlining when they outline paragraph by paragraph with each sentence of that paragraph, and then they change to the next paragraph and sentence by sentence. We call that sentence by sentence, or S by S outlining. Now, you can see at the top of this overview box on 119, sentence by sentence informative report over given material. That means that we are giving them the source to write from. And this particular project is about 3 poisonous plants. Another thing about this overview box on 119 is that all of our projects have this box before the project. And this is because we found in testing that students, if they didn't have this box and they just started right into the lesson, they would text us, call us, email us, I can't find where the quotes are. How many quotes do I have to have this week? Or I'm not sure how many paragraphs I have to write. You know, can you tell me what page that's on? And so this is our overview box. We try to stress to the students that this overview box is just giving you an overview of the entire project. So this is not, these are not the assignments. This is not a writing idea book. These are not suggestions. This is what the assignments contain. And so as a matter of fact, at the beginning of the year, when we first start teaching a new group of students, it's really cute because parents see this and they have a tendency to come unglued thinking their kids have to do this whole thing for the whole week. So I have them write in the margin, "Dear Mom, don't get freaked out. This is for 3 weeks. The assignments are inside." And so then they put little smiley faces, and it's just to remind them and their parents that this tells them what the entire project is going to be about. So with this, I'm just going to show you a little bit about how we use a source They write from that source, and then the next time they write originally. So let's walk over to that and the next page, 120. Here is the project, the outline, the paragraphs. I'm sorry, here are the paragraphs for the poisonous plant. And they have an opening paragraph, a paragraph of body A, a paragraph of body B, and a paragraph of body C. And in this, I'm going to flip on over because I'm going to walk you over to the outline on page 123. Here is where they outline, right? And they outline paragraph 1, they outline the opening paragraph, the paragraph of body B, A, paragraph of body B, paragraph of body C. And then on the next page, 125, there is a sample so that if they need help, they can refer to that sample. Now this is week 12 of a 7th grade book. So usually by this time they don't absolutely need the samples, but we provide short samples for the sentence by sentence over given material and a complete sample for the projects that are original. I'll tell you more about that in the next video. And so then we walk on over and you can see all the skills, and I want to talk to you about how all those skills are interwoven in the next video. But I want to show you how then this project, they write from that source. They outline, they put it in their own words, and we're saying, you know what, this is what happens when you go to an encyclopedia or when you go to an online source. You determine your paragraph topics, you find your material and you outline it, then the next paragraph topic and you find your material and outline it, and so forth. And then the very next week, as you can see on page 145, weeks 13 and 14, they are going to do an original informative report. And guess what they're going to write about? 3 plants. Just like the previous one was 3 poisonous plants, in the overview box on 145, you can see they can choose any 3 plants. There are so many things that go into this that I don't have time on this video that I will talk about in upcoming videos. But one thing that we do to teach paragraphs from the beginning, actually 3 or 4 things. First of all, we have the outlining lines provided for them, just like I showed you in the previous lesson. The outlining lines are there. Opening paragraph, so here are all your sentences. Oh, it's paragraph of body A, here are all your sentence lines, outlined right here. That is one of the best methods for teaching paragraph breaks. Also in those outlining lines, we always, and actually this is in every single project, original or given source, we always have them determine what the paragraph's going to be about. Topic of paragraph, topic of paragraph. This has taken our students from that whole everything is one paragraph to I know when to change paragraphs, I know when to change paragraphs. And actually paragraph breaks is a non-issue once they do one book of meaningful composition. They never question how to break their paragraphs again from that point on because of the methods that we use to ensure that paragraph breaks are taught. So another thing that we do to teach, to bridge the gap from giving them the source to them writing originally, is that we do the 3 topics method. The 3 topics method is like a training wheel method. We don't say now write about a poisonous plant. We say write a report about 3 different things. Now they don't realize that they're writing a long report, but psychologically in their minds they only need 1 paragraph about this plant, 1 paragraph about this plant, and 1 paragraph about the 3rd plant. And then that is training wheels to taking them over to writing about one whole thing, and then eventually in our big 4 research reports writing 25 to 30 paragraphs about one topic. It's all incremental, it's all broken down, and it truly does work. So here we have the overview box for weeks 13 and 14. They just did the 3 poisonous plants from the source we gave them, and now they're going to do their own report over here. And we even teach using that sample. Turn to page 148. Here is a sample of a 3 plant, apples, peaches, and pears. We teach them how they can take 1 paragraph and break it down into multiple sentences. And we even, on 149, we give them the possible topics that they might include in their paragraph. Look over here, we have this topic, this topic, this topic, and so forth. And then they come over here on 149 and they can see I can write about the species, I can write about the where it originated, I can write about the type of tree, I can write about the type of plant, and then they are off and ready to go write their own paper, ready to find their own materials, ready to lay it out, and so forth. So yes, we do have given sources, but not only given sources, and we use those given sources extensively to teach from. So join me for the next video in which I talk about how we use pre-writing skills to teach every single project. Thank you.